What's up guys, my name's Petey from COD Intel, and welcome back to another episode of Q&A Sunday, where I answer some of your questions you guys submit every single Sunday, and no, I'm not doing a Sniper Wolf intro. As always, if you want to submit questions, either leave them in the comment section below, or use the question form. You'll find a link to that at the very top of the description below. So let's jump into the very first question, which is, do you think COD XP will be an annual event now? Honestly, I think it might be, because if you think about it, for esports events such as Call of Duty Championships, they have to rent out a venue anyway. So if they can incorporate COD XP and get tickets sold to general public people who want to come along, play the new Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff, then it only is a win-win for Activision, if anything. So essentially they make more money from tickets, they can advertise their latest game, they can do a championship event all in one go. So in my opinion, it makes business sense. And it just makes sense completely, in my opinion. I think they should actually do Call of Duty XP every single year. I think it benefits the games, and I think it just adds to the hype and the popularity of the Call of Duty franchise. And again, if they're already doing Call of Duty Champs, it only makes sense to me to do it at the very same time. Be honest, PT, have you enjoyed playing Infinite Warfare? I've seen you focus more on Modern Warfare Remastered on your YouTube videos. So you've asked for an honest answer, so here it is. I don't really enjoy Infinite Warfare as much as I want to. I think that game isn't really a Call of Duty game that I enjoy. So therefore, I'm just really not enjoying it, full stop. There are some elements I do like, but otherwise, to me, it's too much of an explosion fest. I don't like the weapons for the most part. I don't like the maps too much. And I just don't really feel as if it's the game for me. At the same time, when I was like 12 or 13 years old, back in 2007, I used to play Call of Duty 4 religiously. I used to love that game. I used to have a clan. I used to come home from school, play clan battles and gamebattles.com, whatever it was. So yeah, everything about that game I loved, and then for a remaster to come along in 2016 is like a dream come true to me. So therefore, I'm just reliving my childhood by playing the remastered version of Modern Warfare. So therefore, that is probably why I'm really enjoying the remastered version of Modern Warfare. I love the maps, I love the weapons, everything about that game to me is just a great fun game. And therefore, to compare it to Infinite Warfare means that, you know, Infinite Warfare almost just has no interest versus playing Modern Warfare Remastered, which is why I'm always playing the remastered version of Modern Warfare. Alongside that, I don't really have much time in my life right now. I have a full-time job, I make YouTube videos, I run COD Intel for two other people, so therefore I have to use my time wisely, and therefore I find myself playing Modern Warfare Remastered mostly, as opposed to Infinite Warfare. Perhaps time will tell, and I might change my opinion on that, but for right now, my focus is primarily on the remastered version of Modern Warfare. What DLCs do you think will come into Infinite Warfare from previous Call of Duty games? So this is actually quite an interesting question, because I think we can all agree right now Infinite Warfare hasn't got the best reception in the Call of Duty community, so therefore the Season Pass and the DLC map packs are more important than ever to actually attract players back to the game. So therefore, Infinity Ward really have to pull it off in terms of these DLC map packs to make sure they're actually really interesting, really compelling, and they just bring people back to the game from playing other games such as the remastered version of Modern Warfare. So do I think we'll see some like throwback maps and so on? Absolutely. I think it's literally inevitable that throwback maps are coming back from previous Call of Duty games. I think Infinity Ward will focus on bringing some throwback content from the Modern Warfare series, such as Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 in terms of maps and weapons and so on. We already have classic weapons in Infinite Warfare from previous games, so I think they'll extend on that and give us more classic weapons. Again, we'll have some maps. We have Terminal already as a remake, but I think that's only the start. I think they'll do even more remakes from previous Call of Duty games in the Modern Warfare series, purely because they're quite memorable and everyone loves a lot of the Modern Warfare series maps, so that'll be pretty cool to see in Infinite Warfare. We might even see, although this is quite unlikely, but actually a pretty cool idea, we could even see Spec Ops, or the survival mode for Modern Warfare 3, introduced into Infinite Warfare. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad idea, but that might actually be pretty cool to see, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen. But either way, I would expect to see a lot of throwback content in the DLC map packs, again, purely to attract people back to the game, because, of course, the overall consensus for the game isn't particularly positive. I think it's had a bit of a hard time recently, and it might need some saving in the form of 4 DLC map packs with great content. Do you think Sledgehammer will include something like zombies in their next game? So to be honest, I actually think zombies is here to stay every single year now. I think the zombies community has become so powerful and large that they kind of need to give them zombies every single year to kind of keep it going and keep it thriving. Otherwise, the YouTube videos would decline and the popularity and so on would decline also. So ultimately, I think it's become quite an integral part of selling the game now to attract more players to the game, including the zombies community. So therefore, I honestly think that zombies is now going to be an every single year thing in every single game. So in 2017, we should have more zombies content in their game from Sledgehammer Games. Like we did with Advanced Warfare, we had Exo Zombies. I don't even think Exo Zombies was actually pre-planned, to be honest. I think that was actually an afterthought once the game came out. Perhaps it wasn't, but to me, there was no mention or indication of zombies at the start of Advanced Warfare when it first came out. It all kind of unraveled after the launch of the game, so perhaps we'll have the same thing again in 2017, but at the very least, I think zombies is here to stay, so we'll have it in 2017. Then of course you have Treyarch in 2018, and it's pretty much guaranteed that zombies is coming back then. And then of course in 2019 we have Infinity Ward again, and I think they'll probably continue doing zombies into their game also, again to attract players and to attract numbers in terms of sales of their game. So yes, zombies definitely in 2017, I'm pretty certain of it. But perhaps they might shock us with something different, but I think zombies is definitely here to stay. What have they learned from remastering a game and launching it at the same time? The community is now split, and you have a AAA title competing with a 10-year-old game. You will see more of an impact when Modern Warfare Remastered is sold separately, furthering Infinite Warfare to struggle with sales to the bottom of the abyss. Wow, that sounds rather depressing, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really change this situation. So you have two very different games. You have Infinite Warfare, which was released on November 4th, 2016. That's a future-based Call of Duty with wall running, boost jumping, all that kind of stuff. So that caters towards a set amount of players who like that kind of futuristic element to the game. Then you have the remastered version of Modern Warfare that was also released alongside Infinite Warfare on November 4th, 2016, but of course you had to pay extra for it, and that is a very toned down boots on the ground experience based in modern times and modern day weapons and nothing futuristic. So obviously both games are going to be catering towards two different audiences, so it really comes down to personal preference. So for right now, obviously, you have to buy Infinite Warfare to play Modern Warfare Remastered, which is great for Activision because it means that you're spending more money to play both games. But of course, in 2017, it's very, very likely that remastered version of Modern Warfare will be sold separately to Infinite Warfare, so therefore then we'll have a big surge of players buying the remastered version of Modern Warfare to then play that independently to Infinite Warfare. So what will happen? Well, we'll have a big surge of players on the remastered version of Modern Warfare. It will probably beat the amount of players playing multiplayer versus Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare will probably lag behind, but you can't really change that situation. Again, it just comes down to the fact that if you sell two big games in 1 year in a Call of Duty franchise, one game will always perform better than the other at some point during the course of the year. So I'm really not sure how to answer this question because I'm not Activision, but, you know, they can't change this. Whether they do it in the future or they've done it this year, which they have already, you know, whether they do it in 5 or 10 years' time, if you release two games in the same year, one game will always perform better than the other. It simply comes down to how good each game is and which game people prefer, and that's Activision's fault if their big new game isn't doing as well as a remastered game, which is a 10-year-old game. That, you know, that is entirely their fault, and no one can change that. What kind of movement would you like to see in the new Call of Duty? So obviously, ever since Advanced Warfare, we've now gone into the air with boost jumping, boost sliding, running along walls, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of taken a turn from being a very grounded experience to being something in the air for the majority of the time. Now, some people don't mind it, some people hate it. It's been a very big subject in the Call of Duty community. So my answer is pretty simple, purely on the basis that for the last few years, we've had this boots in the air kind of mentality with the games. So everything is based around running on walls, boosting from A to B, all that kind of stuff. I think they should tone it down and bring us back to the ground again and bring us simplified movement mechanics from A to B with just the ability to perhaps jump, but no boost jumping, no running along walls, nothing. So just make it so that it's like Black Ops 2, for example. So if they make it a future-based Call of Duty, which is unlikely, by the way, but I'm just saying, if they make it a future-based Call of Duty in 2017, or even a current day or a pre-modern day Call of Duty, just make sure it's boots on the ground. I think then that'll bring us back to being a core experience that many of us will enjoy. That's my answer, so hopefully that answers your question. Should Infinity Ward be sacked ever since the original team left and it's all gone downhill? So I've seen this question all over the internet, YouTube, Twitter and so on. People feel quite strongly against Infinity Ward. They think they're not good enough to make games anymore in the Call of Duty franchise. They should be dropped and replaced with Raven Software. So here's my 3 main points to this. Number 1, Activision have plowed a lot of money into Infinity Ward as a team and as a studio, so they're not going to throw away their investment, so it's just not going to happen. Number 2, Activision and Infinity Ward kind of made the Call of Duty franchise what it is today. So they made 2003's game, which was the first game in the franchise. They then went on to make the Modern Warfare series. So Infinity Ward have kind of driven the Call of Duty franchise to be what it is today. So if it wasn't for them, I doubt it would be as successful as it is in 2016. And number 3, I don't think they're actually a bad studio. I just think they have a direction and managerial issue at their studio. I think they're just very misaligned to what the Call of Duty community actually wants. So once they fix that, I think they can make great games again. But until then, I think they're just kind of lost, if that makes any sense. I think Call of Duty Ghost was a good game, and it also sold very well, so it was one of the best-selling games in the franchise. And I think Infinite Warfare is just a showing of them being misaligned, and they're just not on the same page as the Call of Duty franchise and as the Call of Duty community wants in terms of their kind of wants and needs for the franchise to make it a great game. So once they fix those issues, which they'll have 3 years to do now, so once 2019 comes along, I hope that they can actually put together a great game and it's not a mess. That is simple as that. That's my answer to that question. But anyway, guys, that's all for this video. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed it, and of course leave any more of your questions in the comment section below, or use the question form in the description below. Also, thanks for watching, and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and of course subscribe for further Charlie Intel content every 1 to 2 days. Once again, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.